Out on track for the feature event tonight, the Classic Hot Rod final. This will be racing over 25 laps, and we once again have 419 Dave Murphy as your pole position starter. 72 Gary Godwin is out there on turn 4, starting from the B grade, and he was the winner of heat number 2 tonight, and he was a very pleased winner indeed, taking his laurels with Molly Dutton to accompany him on the lap of honour. 31 Steve Gooding, the good guy, is out there. He was experiencing problems in heat number 1, not because of anything mechanical, but simply because his receiver was malfunctioning, and not apparently at his end, but in the box. And that's the race control box. And anyway, he's out for heat 2, and he was quite pleased with how things are going, and he has plans for a few weight-saving changes on that car during the course of the season. Moving down to turn number 3, and we see the A-grade starter of 101 Jonah Byring. And then your star grade is headed by 924 Stuart Wright, who again had an excellent race in heat number 2, electing quite effectively to use the outside line, and has seemed to have got that angle really well dialed in, both at Wimbledon a few weeks ago and here tonight at Northampton. 445 alongside him, Graham Boyd, has been very busy tonight, not only looking after his car, but with his team of Boyd Motorsport, looking after his daughter Cara's Wolseley and Craig's Osterday 40. Now we move away onto the warm-up lap as we look at 121 Charlie Shembry. Andy Stewart seems to have been a bit quick there as he went past Charlie in the warm-up, but looks like Charlie in fact is going a little bit slower. Hope everything's all right with the Mark 1 in the 121 colours. As we look at 44 Cara Boyd, who again was experiencing brake trouble in heat number 2, and the Boyd Motorsport team were feverishly bleeding the brakes on that Wolseley. And it's great to see that Carl Jones has made it out for the final, because just as he was exiting the pits to line up in pit lane, the exhaust came off. It was dragging along the floor, and all credit to Carl, because he's managed to fix it back on the underside of the Mark II. And we're away and racing. The green flag drops on the final with this clutch start. Now let's see how well Graham Wright gets going in the final, or indeed just how quickly Andy Stewart reels him in. So really we're looking at those who have performed well so far this evening. There goes Stuart Wright, as we said. And of course, Donut has got to be the favourite for winning this race over the long lap length of 25 racing laps. Let's hope that Cara Boyd has got some brakes in that Wolseley as she goes motoring around. Really enjoying the extra grip that a Classic Hot Rod affords compared to what she's been more used to in lightning rods. Here's your race leader though in the early stages. 419 Dave Murphy, the family guy. Just ahead of the Norfolk boy, the winner of heat number 2 tonight, 72 Gary Godwin. The Godwinner will be on mark for reeling in Dave Murphy in just a few laps' time. In third place, 101 John Bowring. And then we have a good scrap amongst the star men, as 198 Andy Stewart has just managed to get past 924 Stuart Wright, and 45 Craig Boyd is trying to follow through, and he's lost at 840. Graham Boyd, 445, fires himself out all on his own as Gary Godwin now looks to take the lead on the outside line, getting past 419 Dave Murphy. There goes 44 Cara Boyd. by 45 Craig Boyd. Craig really the only driver who's got the speed to try and stay with Andy Stewart on a lap-to-lap basis. But Andy already beginning to pull away in 198. About to put Cara Boyd a lap down. There goes Stewart right through. Number 4, Carl Jones, and here's your leader, 72. Gary Goodswin in second place, 419, Dave Murphy. Family Guy just ahead of the Cowboy. 445 Graham Boyd. It's a lap down. There comes 101 John Bowring, about to be overtaken by 198 Andy Stewart. And the midnight blue paint of the 101 car of John Bowring glistening under the floodlights here on this cold and crisp night at Northampton Stadium, as 198 Andy Donut Stewart powers around the outside and also takes down 445 Graham Boyd, who is quite surprisingly off the pace in tonight's final. Number 4, Carl Jones having a good battle with 44 Cara Boyd. Is your race leaders through again for 149 Dave Murphy in second, 198 Andy Stewart in third. So really well spaced out at the moment, but the story to the race will change again as Stewart will look to reel in those two cars immediately ahead of him. There goes 45 Craig Boyd, and in 5th place 101 John Bowring, and in 6th 924 Stuart Wright. Those are the only drivers I believe now on the same lap. So in stark contrast to the way things developed at Wimbledon back in February, drivers tonight have got well strewn out around the more spacious track of Northampton. Itself not one of the biggest tracks that we have on our circuit. That award goes to Ipswich Stadium and Hendersworth Hills. But then we see that Andy Stewart has now got into second place in his brand new car built by Sonny Howard Preparations, and looking now to close down the leader. And there is the leader, 72 Gary Goodswin. You can really see now how Andy powering through those bends so much more quickly than Gary Goodswin, really beginning to reel in the gap between the two Mark II Escorts. So 72, your leader, but for how much longer? As 198 Andy Stewart now is right with the Norfolk boy. Here comes Donut now to challenge, going now on the outside line, feeling the confidence as he does so. They're neck and neck through turns 1 and 2, but Andy Stewart will get the power down so much more quickly, and making the geometry and the settings and the tyres and the power of that Sonny Howard car really figure as he takes the lead in tonight's final. So there is your lead driver. 2 laps remaining now in this 25 lap affair. Cara Boyd through the picture again, as is number 4, Carl Jones. And here's your leader through. 72 Gary Goodswin has put in a good contest, but with 25 laps on the charts for this final, there's just a few laps too long to hold out. The winner, and there he is, 198 Andy Stewart from 72, 445, 419 Dave Murphy in 4th, 5th 101 John Bowring. A very close finish with him at 924 Stuart Wright. Stewart getting a little bit tail happy as he went through turn 4 at the conclusion of that race. We'll bring the top 3 together for the presentations, and again Andy Donut Stewart, the winner of tonight's final. Top point scorer tonight, having won heat number 1, second place in heat number 2, and then the win in the final itself for 198 Andy Donut Stewart, the man who is all conquering in classic hot rods. Second place man, 72 Gary Goodswin will join, as does 45 Craig Boyd. Those are your top three. A good performance put in by 419 Dave Murphy, it has to be said. Another consistent and smooth drive from the man from the south coast of England, and I think he'll go away from tonight's meeting quite pleased. So 419 was in fourth place. John Bowring in 101 was fifth, and 924 Stuart Wright in the sixth position. It's pleased to see just how many anglers are now competing in classic hot rods, and they look absolutely beautiful. Every car out there really showing just how well prepared they are, and classic hot rods, the coolest formula out there, and the hottest drivers partaking in the class. And a credit to them all, and it's pleasing to see that Molly Dutton is out there again to be on to issue the trophies and be in the photographs courtesy of Dave Kingston. And do remember to log on to Facebook and get your links through to Martin Kingston, I should say. I do apologise, Martin, to have a look at the fantastic photographs that he puts up and the dedication that he puts in such a professional way to showing just how good these cars look on the lens. So there's Molly, she's having a photograph with third place finisher 45 Craig Boyd, as mentioned by the commentating here tonight at Northampton, and the karting kid has been mentioned by Andy Hankin, who's on the mic tonight here at Northampton International Raceway. And again, now the trophy going from Molly to the second place finisher, the Norfolk boy, 72 Gary Goodswin. And finally Molly with the checker flag, now to be accompanied by Donut himself, 198 Andy Donut Stewart, winning yet another final here tonight at Northampton. So there we are, the winner of tonight's final. 198 Andy Donut Stewart, your second place finisher 72 Gary Goodswin, and in third 45 I should say Craig Boyd. And a nice little meeting here tonight, and that was turning back the clock. It was a great meeting featuring the classics, of course, that we feature, the heritage stock cars, and the saloon stocks, who turned up in good numbers tonight to entertain the crowd. So that concludes tonight's meeting here for Classic Hot Rod TV. We'll sign off now, and we will see you next time north of the border for the Scottish Open Championship at Lochgelly Raceway.
And the winner of the final for the Classic Hot Rod, none other than 198 Andy Stewart.
So there we are, top three, and Molly Dutton going around on the parade lap of honour, and that concludes a good little night's racing here in the East Midlands.